Here. Here. Hi, Donna.
Morning, afternoon, yes, ma'am.
Need,
I never know.
You what?
I never know morning from night.
Well, we're kind of in between. Everyone had a chance to read the previous minutes. Yes. We have. They will stand approved as presented. Minutes from November 14th. Okay. Need a motion. Let's do we'll address the letter there.
This letter?
The letter was presented by Donna and has to do with the thing we're looking at in regard to the square. And as you can see, her concern is parking. We had another concern about the parking, and it all had to do really centered around parking at the courthouse when they're just parked every place. Of course, the courthouse, that's always been a concern. You're free to say something if you'd like to, Donna. Everybody's got the letter.
Okay. I strongly urge you not to close the inside parking on the square. There's 40 spaces there. If you close off 40 spaces, you're going to have quite a problem.
Yeah.
Yesterday when I passed there were 10 cars within the boundaries on the inside.
We've been watching the inside. It runs 6 or 7 most of the time. But when those 40 are eliminated, there will be 20 more created. So the shortage is 18 on the north and south.
I don't know where you're going to put. I don't know where you're going to put them.
Well, the whole north and south side will be solid. You won't be able to drive through. You'll have parking spaces on them like you do.
Are you going to close those streets in front of the courthouse?
No.
On the side of the courthouse?
No, you didn't. You misunderstand me. But on the inside of the square, on the east and west side, you've got 10 parking spaces.
Yes.
So we're gonna close the north side and the south, and we put 10 more there on the north and south.
You're going to close the south side of the square to traffic?
No.
Then tell me what you're going to do. I don't understand you.
Go
You want to show it?
Let's say that this is the square.
Right.
And this is the side over where your granddaughter is. This is the east side, and this is the west, and this is the north. Right now, we only have 2 parking spaces on the north side. Here's where they drive. Here's where your parking spaces are here, and right here are 2. We're gonna put a sidewalk all the way across the north, and you'll have parking spaces there, just like you do over in front of the abstract office. And the same thing will be here. So
No, I don't get it. You I'm
not a very good
understand.
artist, but you hang on.
You can't close the streets.
No,
The state highway.
No.
I'm done.
No.
No, it's
No.
just hard to visualize.
Yeah.
Where are you going to make what she said was something regarding making a cross for the
Crosswalk.
pedestrian traffic.
It's already there.
It's there, but
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
We're gonna fix it so that when you get to the end of it and you come to the sidewalk, like over in front of the abstract office, there would be a ramp so someone on a wheelchair could get up on the sidewalk.
Well, that's fine.
Right here.
And the same thing would be true about the middle of the square.
So here's the north side,
Right.
and here's the
How
start.
many you got up there now?
2 is what
2.
you're saying. 2 right here in the middle.
Right in the very middle. There are 2 little parking spaces on the north and the south.
Look,
That's all.
look at this picture right here. Do you see the 2 cars right there?
Just fill the
They
whole
park on the
thing.
north side of the square. You're just saying you got 2 up there?
right now. On the inside of the square.
On the
Oh, on
square,
the
you know,
inside.
Yeah, we're just talking the inside now, that's all we're talking about.
But you're talking about closing the whole thing.
No.
That's
No,
what I read it in the
no,
paper.
No,
No,
No, I don't like it.
I don't,
no.
I don't know if I can explain it.
Do you want me to make a copy of this for you to look at?
Excuse me
later
just a
on?
minute.
There's 2 pictures there, existing and proposed.
Right here. Let's say here's the abstract. Right here,
Yeah, I know.
okay? Right now, we've got parking in here,
Right,
right here.
right, and there's 10 on each side.
Yes, and we've got parking right here.
Right, and there's 10 on each side of this, and that makes 40.
That's correct. Right now, on this side of the square where Jernigan's is and over
Okay.
there, you've just got 2 parking spaces right here in the middle. Because this is open so that you can drive in, see?
But now you're talking about here.
Yeah. And
Of course,
right,
you're talking about here. These are parking spots on the sidewalk, here and here.
they're not
you're
there
not-
now. They're not there now. You have to be able to drive in here to park, so this is all open. We've only got 2 parking spaces right here today and 2 right here.
But your parking spaces on this inside, it's not here. You're talking about here and here, right?
Here's your parking. Here's 10 right here and 10 right here
Right,
and 10 here and 10
that's
here.
right.
And you get in this way and you get in this way.
That's true.
So this is open. And
Yes.
this drawing shows that we put a sidewalk all the way across and then we put parking spaces there and there. So we gain another 20.
But you're losing 40.
You're losing.
Yeah, so it actually, when we figure it out, there's a shortage of 18.
Or 18.
Right.
Yeah, 18 parking spaces.
Yeah.
So we do lose some, but it's not 40.
Yeah.
Okay. But we're not there yet.
Good.
We're not there yet. Need a motion to amend the agenda, please.
I make a motion to amend the agenda.
I'll second.
Aye.
Okay.
There'll be further discussion on that anyway in the future, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a lot more discussion to be had, Donna, and there'll be a public meeting and all that.
You mentioned the fact in the paper, as I read it, putting in grass. Now, I can tell you from experience that you don't push a wheelchair on grass and you don't walk as well on grass as you do on pavement, on concrete. Because your concrete is level. You can't push a wheelchair or stuffing on grass. It just won't go.
Yeah, one of the things it's gonna have, or the proposal is, Donna, is that all the way around that inside will be a 5-foot sidewalk made for handicap. And also, like if you came out of the abstract office, there would be a ramp to come off the sidewalk, come across to the center, and a ramp to get into the square.
You're gonna create something there.
Well, we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice.
If
Got that.
you come across that highway, you're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, I agree, but we're gonna have to make the handicap entry. By the year 2020, we're required to have all of the sidewalks all over town made adaptable to handicap.
But
We
you
won't
don't
be
have
able
to make
to.
the inside of the square. I just don't agree with this at all,
Okay.
so maybe I should just leave.
Oh, no, you don't have to leave. We've agreed to disagree, so
Well,
that's all right.
I consider you all my friends, and I hope that this doesn't change anything, just because I disagree with you.
We haven't decided to do it even yet.
It's a proposal.
Maybe I've got Burley on my side.
I think a lot of people read last week like it was already a decision made.
Yeah,
and
no,
or 2 weeks ago, excuse me, but it's not been a decision made yet.
And while I'm thinking about it, it doesn't have anything to do with this meeting, but I need to call you this next week, and you and I need to have a picture taken with that
Do I
quilt.
want to have a picture made with you?
Well, not with me, with the quilt.
With the quilt.
With the
As
quilt.
long as it's with the quilt.
Yeah, we'll have the quilt. Peggy. Okay. Suzanne. Okay. The resolution, we had a resolution last week to consider the possibility of applying for a grant to demolish the Rawlings building. I talked to Copeland prior to it being announced, so they didn't at least know that it was a thought. It was a community block grant, so it's the square. No need in considering both at the same time. Plus, then I turned around, we talked to SCOCOG, and she says that they will not okay the demolition of a commercial building unless it's an area where you get rid of blight. And I kind of consider that to be blight, but she said that building will not qualify. She said they're wanting 4, 5, 6, 7 buildings. And I said 250,000 won't do that. She said, I know it. She said, I'm telling you, it won't go. So I emailed James Barnett and Phil Grohl over at Plant 99 today and told them that that's on hold. So that's the deal about that.
That's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, me too. The lower part bathroom, we're still kind of working on that. One of the things that we found, we did find complete plans, 2 sets of plans for the old one. And I think we're considering using that to get some idea of what kind of, we need to put it up for bids to see if we even want to do it. It's a dollar for dollar match. I don't know. The other one costs just under 80,000. The figures there, 79,000 and something, which seems way out of line, but it's nice.
Is that another prevailing wage?
Oh yeah, everything we do is prevailing wage. Yep. So I think we may put it up for bids and get some idea how much money we're talking about. The demolition is done, and they've done all the schools. They've done the 4 houses we talked about, did mine today, tore some trees down. Now I've got as big a mess over there as I did before the house was torn down. But anyway, they did a really good job if you've looked at any of it.
Yeah,
I mean, really did a good job. So that was done, and they got out to the Jackie Sigler property that burned and cleaned that up. And I've got a separate bill because we'll bill Century Bank in Gainesville for that. And that's it.
Where's the Seeger property? I can't get in my head where it's at.
Well, go down below the post office right there, and there's a road that turns left, goes around the top of the hill.
Yeah, I know where it's at now. Yeah.
And the other property that Jackie has across from the community center, Susie Anderson's building.
Okay.
And it probably needed to be torn down too, really. I mean, it's been empty so long, and it was old to begin with. But and talking about the lower park, I'll back up just a little bit. The lower park, today this morning we got a piece of playground equipment. And we ordered 3 pieces from Miracle and another piece from Game Time, and it was the 1 piece that came today. Got a call today, the other 3 are coming tomorrow. So that equipment, playground equipment, will be stored. The plan is to have the street department or Kevin or somebody do the digging and probably leave it all winter. And it's gonna be spring before we can finish it. Just weather's, I mean, if we thought it was all gonna be like today, you know, we could do it, but we will have that'll give us time to do a little planning about where to put the stuff. So that stuff's here. It was a merry-go-round, a thing you jump on, two things you jump on, and then a tree you climb. So the demolition is done. Altogether, we had, counting the schools, we had 10 houses and 2 sheds over at school. A burnout house here, and then my property, our property that we had destroyed, all in 2 weeks.
Man, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good looking. We got about 10 more that ought to go. In your packet is some information presented. Noel got that information together. So if I think we can, you want to take it home and look at it and think about it. We haven't had much time to look at it. Then next time we meet, we can kick it around, see what we think about it. And it may take Colin and Noel to get some answers on it.
That'll be fine.
So. The recycling, I think they're gonna go ahead and apply for a grant for a compactor. And I called Don, D-A-W-N, Don Cox over at DOCO and visited with her today. They're kind of like us. They don't know enough about recycling. They're not against it over there. They're not going to lead the charge for it. They've got those chippers they've got to sell, get rid of. And I told her I'd be going by every day, and as soon as it was gone, I'd be in there to talk to her. But I think it's a good place if it's something that's going to fit with what she wants. I mean, she's cleaning it up, but there's no question about it. And getting ready to do the parking lot, and they poured a sidewalk, and she wants every job out there to be something that her people there can do. So if it turns out that they can't, or it's deemed to be inappropriate or dangerous, then we'll find another spot. And I told her that today. But if it'll fit there, that's a good place. It's fenced in.
Yeah. Be nice.
We can regulate it. And
you know, when we toured some of those, and those people were working in them, like now Branson.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they were doing such a good job.
Yeah, and they just kept it clean.
This Jim Von Baron, he has equipment already over there that they're using. They haul Coca-Cola products in there that are outdated. And actually, I can't see where that equipment would be any different than just other than maybe a little smaller, but it's a compactor.
Well, they already had the compactor there.
Now, you're talking about a big one that we're going to put in possibly.
Well, I'm talking about, they've got a compactor where they compact the plastic from the Coke.
Okay.
They kept that one.
Yeah, but Jim Von Baron hauls, or is it Coke? Somebody hauls product down here.
He'll haul the plastic, but Coke, they may go get the Coke product, or Coke may bring it to them.
Okay, they bring it.
Somebody hauls it.
They've got a contract with Coke on that outdated and damaged, it's mostly outdated stuff. And they've got what do you say? They've got a machine in there, goes in there and smashes the container, and the liquid runs out, and then they compact the plastic. But they kept the little compactor there, big one, that they used for plastic. But if what I hear is right, it takes an awful lot of plastic to make a bale. Yeah, and they're still doing cardboard to some degree that they're getting from mass steel.
You remember we toured Ozark County,
Yeah,
And they had a bin of plastic there, and I think they said it would take more than that to make one bale.
yeah.
So it
And
takes a
Von Barron says
lot.
it's, you know, 1 3s and 5s or something, and you've got to take the lids off and all that kind of stuff, so. Anyway, there's still some thinking going on about recycling, and that's kind of where we are. Nobody's in a big rush. The group that will do the grant writing, it won't be us, but it won't be the county, but they'll, you know, it's time to do that because that has to be in by 1st of April, 1st of February. It's not a complicated grant either. Suzanne, all that, we didn't have much.
The request for qualifications are up.
Oh, gosh, yes. The first thing we did on the grant was we sent out, we passed a resolution that gave us permission to take the next step. We don't have any idea at this point even what the cost of that project would be, the square. I mean, we don't know. There's only one way to find out, and that's to have it engineered. We've had 5 different companies expressing interest, and the cutoff was last Friday? Last Friday. And 2 of these, 2 of them I think were from Rolla, and 3 from Springfield. And Anderson Engineering that we worked with on the sidewalk from the school to the park was one, and the other one was John Forrester, the company he was with. And it's not the same company he was with before, but it's a different company. So what we do is we choose the one that we would like to use, and we give this to SCOCOG, and they will check the background of all of them and then notify them appropriately that they thank you for submitting your resume. We've got the 2 with John Forster and the one with Andy Novinger, and that's, excuse me, Anderson Engineering. We're the 2 we've worked with. We used to work with John all the time on everything, and we haven't much in the past. The last thing was the well. No, the last thing was he did the engineering for the over in front of the Harold office. He did that for and the tower. Helped us with the tower. And the experience we've had with Andy and Anderson Engineering was the sidewalk. And you know, I think they're both.
What were the other 3 companies' names?
Well, one was Integrity Engineers Incorporated, and Anderson Engineering, which was Andy Novinger, and the sidewalk over here. Missouri Engineering Company, which I think was from Rolla, and Civil Engineering Associates, LLCs, I think. Well, 2 of them were from Rolla, I'd have to look. And then the 3rd one, is that ALLGE, Algier? Algier Martin and Associates, and that's the one that John Forster's with. John also helped us. He didn't do the work, but he came down and gave us some advice on how to handle the creek over there behind Dollar General, where we've got a sewer that crosses that creek, and the support for that sewer line, water was getting underneath it. And the guys went over, I took pictures beforehand and after and sent them to Daniel Ferris, who owns the property. so that he can stay out of trouble too. We did a lot of work over there. We straightened the creek back out. The creek had taken a turn, and when it did, the water was getting underneath the brace and eating it out. So we've used John for those three things.
Do we want to at least have a preference so that we can let the other company know that we are not interested?
Yeah.
I think we cleared it up a while ago, just to make it clear with everybody. They're, like on an engineer, we won't spend any money until we decide, yes, we are, or we're not going to. Okay.
They just
You wanna
put
make it clear.
together a
In fact,
proposal with a
we
cost.
didn't, on that other block grant, we never did pay Andy anything, did we? Because the grant was not accepted. And this engineering bit down here, none of them thought it would be as complicated as the sidewalk. Or as expensive, for that matter.
We don't have to go get all of that permission for everything.
Suzanne mentioned with the sidewalk, we had several changes we had to make. And for the most part, we were happy with Anderson Engineering. And Andy, of course, he's just a really nice guy as far as that's concerned. But they made some really funny changes in that sidewalk. And we got most of it taken care of, everybody's satisfaction. I work fine with John Forster too. If you had your pick, you work, which one are you gonna choose?
Not me.
Well, you were over there every day with Anderson Engineering.
They had enough man crew to do the testing, the measurements when it came down to MoDOT specifications. And
Anderson,
mhm.
can I throw two bits in here? Was you on the board when we dealt with Forster on the tower and water line?
No, I came in afterwards.
Well,
And I asked if they had any responsibility for building the tower before they drilled a good well. He said no.
we had a meeting with him, DNR, and us. It was a three-way meeting over the phone.
That happened just before I came back.
And he just pretty well just kind of dumped us. And I don't have a good taste in my mouth for John Forster. It's like he was representing DNR on the phone instead of representing us.
And I understand, that's the first question I asked, is how do you build a tower before you enter the well?
And he was, basically, he engineered everything and everything was wrong. Seemed like everything went bad that he engineered, and I'm not comfortable with.
Well, may I make a recommendation?
Yeah.
Just throw it out. I'm gonna recommend Anderson Engineering. We worked, you can't imagine how many times Andy sat down and talked to us and helped. Of course, Suzanne had to go every day. She had to name who was there. She had to see their badges. She had to see how much concrete. Rock was, had to do everything.
For everything they did.
And she'd never done it before, and they led her through that. And all of that had to be written in a hardbound book. Hardbound. So, I don't have any problem recommending Anderson Engineering for this, unless somebody else has a present.
So we just need a motion.
Need a motion.
I so make the motion.
Okay, motion's made to accept Anderson Engineering as the engineer for the square project.
I'll second that if you got along with them just fine over there. It
Oh,
sounds like
yeah.
you did.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And we've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Need a motion to approve the court dockets for November.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
I thought they were the same.
Sorry. That's okay. Keep it doing part of their sick leave deal over here, or vacation.
Did we get everything in open? You like that? Okay.
I'll make a motion to go into close.
I second the motion.
Second,
Aye.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.